KDZ Motorsports in Kenville, Indiana. My sister and my mother, when I was born in the 76, my mother and my father, probably that was very abusive in the Leonardo DiCaprio movies. The Departed, about undercover police and the schizophrenic. My dad probably wined and dined when I was born at Hippensteel's office, in cursive and on my birth certificate, born at 3/20. And the same day Howard Hughes died. He was a movie star for like 30 years, and all the older women loved him. And then he got old, and people were trying to kill him because he was on all those soap operas, and I think it was Vietnam or World War II. But anyway, back then, Social Security numbers were written and picked out, like from the courthouse. They go down and they could handwrite them and pick them out in cursive writing or sloppy, and you sometimes even know who your dad was. But anyway, my dad was very mean and abusive at 21 years old, and my mother was 18 and gullible. She, when she was trying to breastfeed me, because of, I've already known this, but why do I have to deal with it after 18? I'm 18 years old. But anyway, over 18. But that's the point. What is it called? The Jerry Lewis telethon kids with the people that had muscular dystrophy, where they just sit there and their muscles all tight. She on purpose tried to starve me because my dad knew about animals and stuff. He wanted his goal to be a Joe King or Tiger King dude. But anyway, they on purpose tried to starvate me. That's why my mom didn't breastfeed or empty her breast or whatever. And she's got huge breasts like Dolly Parton, to make me a Jerry Lewis telethon multiple dystrophy, where you're just. I don't know how they do it. Yeah, I'm saying it out loud. I don't even know how I have to be doing this stuff. It's like people make movies and songs and stories about me, and I don't even get a life. It's fucked up. But anyway, my mother on purpose didn't breastfeed me. I don't know, my dad, I tried to pretend like it was an accident when I was a kid to make me muscular dystrophy. Charlie cramp, where you're like, sit there and you can't talk. But anyway, and that failed, and my dad was 21, she was 18. And since the 2-year-old, she kept saying she was 4 against 1, gonna put her dad in. My dad was they had 4 kids in their family, and my mom was 18, and my dad started beating him up, and he was like, I'm leaving this fucking marriage. I'm not dealing with this psychopath coming up here, and Rhonda following around my wife, and I adopted Rhonda, and he's trying to beat us up. And he walked out of the marriage with my Uncle Andy in the bun, or in the stomach, but he was like beating up my Uncle Denny, beating up him because my dad's evil. And my stepdad walked out of the marriage because my mom was like driving up there on 69 exit, Crooked Lake exit Marina. That's what I'm talking about. And she kept telling me as a 2-year-old she's going to put him in prison, and Jesus and bread. They were going to give him in water in prison. But anyway, my dad, they lived on the Crooked. My dad lived in the Waterloo Trailer Park off from I-69. And when I was born in 76, and my mother was from Crooked Lake Marina, on the same freeway, 69, and that's where her stepdad lived and put him in prison. The Crooked Lake Marina versus Ronda Rousey versus Michael Senior Clausen in 92 or something, 89. She finally did put him in prison, and he was a good stepdad, another marriage, over 18, and they all framed the girl 18. Mom was writing them letters and all picked them up, and I was a schizophrenic, couldn't show up in the courtroom to help say that he did it. But anyway, it didn't do anything to him. Probably walked out of the bathroom accidentally, and they were like teenagers and didn't realize that he was walking into the bathroom accidentally, and they all needed money and framed him and put him in prison. But anyway, when I was born, it was cursive and handwriting. My dad probably either beat up or took the lady out at the courthouse and probably wined and dined her and said she was sexy and saying, hey, you think you could write my daughter's born in the hospital, because they do it like 2 weeks after you're born, you get your Social Security number. I'm born in April, and my Social Security number is identical, April 469. And they did it on purpose. And my sister owns KDZ of Kenville, Indiana, and I've been in a mental institution. And they won't keep me in town. They keep running me states and states out of town, starving me, trying to have me killed. So Katie Lee Relier looks like some superstar with mopeds from Butler, Indiana, and other people. And I'm in different cities and states, and they keep writing songs about me. But I get starvated, and everything I get, they take my house, my check. I'm almost dead. I'm 50 years old. They're virtual reality. Heather Hairball, what they call these gay children or whatever. Children of the Sun, Thorazine me to death and trying to have me killed. Katie Relier Hendrickson, Sports in Kenneville. And she just sits on her moped, chewing her nails like she always does and watching everybody work. And at home, well, my dad's dead now. He died like 2 years ago. He was an abusive tiger, nasty drunk from Butler, Indiana. But anyway, they take turns because in the 50s or whatever, they virtual reality killed people, but they had a different name for it. But the Rock 104, the Jason Lee of Rock 104, the radio station, just like my sister, her and Brent, all those guys are in on it. And my mother takes first shift when my sister's at work, so she can guide her nails and watch Buddy Burke, and she doesn't get off her tow motor. She just sits there and watches Buddy Burke and makes like $30 an hour and hasn't quit working since the 1995, and they try to kill me, and they still are. And I'm 50 years old, but anyway. And Brent was a family friend or something. Anyway, my mother takes first shift of virtual reality torturing me, schizophrenically sending messages through my brain. And so does my sister on second shift when she gets off from work. And my dad did third shift. My dad and my husband, we were together and married 20 years. He died 2 years ago. My dad's dad and my husband and my mother and my sister are still really badly trying to get me killed. I need you to tell Katie Z Sports. She works at Hendrickson, Kenneville, last time I checked 2 years ago. And her and Brent have tons of money off my mother and my sister's a credit that they've been keeping to get rich and have me killed. They like paying people to have me killed, but Katie Z in Kenneville needs to know the sportsmanship. They've been paying everybody in jobs. I don't know what happens, but my mother and my sister and my father or whoever's taking shifts on me now needs to do virtual reality. Leave me alone. I'm 18 years old. I'm over 18 years old, and I don't. My mother and my sister and my dad didn't have white slavery property over my brain and keep me in a starvated Joe Exotic cage over 18, but they think they can and get away with it. Do what you want. Prison's bad, but I'd like to virtual reality be removed from Rock 104's virtual reality putt golfing games immediately. And I mean immediately. My mother's did several hit and runs. She hit and run on my second appointment in like 2005. They were still keep me starvated in a virtual reality mental institution, a prison or whatever, until they could try to kill me. But anyway, and it's not a Hunter games and whatever, go-karts and plus and more. I understand there's people in job, but anyway, it's, yeah, what was I going to say? She on purpose had Dr. Siren. She did it probably when he got off work at night. And Carl, I had appointments with Carl every 2 weeks or every 2 months and every 3 months with Dr. Siren. And my mom had to take me for gas because I had no money because they were starving me and her. And she hasn't worked in 30 years because they had planned to virtual reality get rich and make a joke and make movies about this shit and legalize gay torture on kids. And I'm not gay. It's just my parents that don't want to get up and do anything. But anyway, she on purpose, 2 months before my appointment with Carl from the Northeastern Center behind Northeastern Center and the movie theater, the old one. I had appointments every 2 months, and we showed up. They said he got killed 2 days before that, and she walked in and said she had to use the bathroom. She's like, "Oh my God, I'm so shocked." She said she had she was sitting there waiting for me to do my appointment. She says, "Oh my God, I can't believe it." And then, like within 6 months, she acted shocked again. She at my appointment with Dr. Siren, she's like, "I had to go and use the bathroom," and she was playing dumb, pretending like she didn't know that she had ran him off the road the night before that. And within 6 months, she had the Fogel Subway man from Subway that she'd been living with. A year before that, in 2005, they opened up their truckers radio. I'm not saying all bad truckers, but they used the truckers to shoot the schizophrenic VR messages through my brain because you could never escape traffic. And they shoot them through all cars and all traffic, no matter what, through their AM, FM radios. People don't even know it when they're driving, but yeah. And otherwise they use the truckers' radio to gossip, to pay people to do bad things to me like they're doing now, to have me killed and starved in the streets, even though I make $1,400 off from Social Security when I tried to work. And I'm not a creep. They made creepy thoughts to my brain. This is all on other movies. I get sick of talking about this stuff. It needs to be dealt with. I don't know, but it needs to be dealt with.